Hi there, and welcome to the Call Cinema. I'm here with May2December here tonight. So, Malcolm, welcome, man. And Indy, if
Thank
you're
you.
there, hi. And if you're not, then hopefully you catch us later. We are taking on the sensitive topic of Marvel and DC tonight. We are going to be looking at, and we have tier lists for Marvel Phase 4 that I did earlier on today. And we have a tier list for the DCEU, which I'm very nervous, Malcolm, about doing,
Yes.
because I was going to do a tier list for the DCEU 4 times. Each time I filmed it, I did it, and I deleted it. So I said tonight
Yeah.
I was going to do a call to cinema where you'd be here, and basically you can take a bit of heat off me, dude. So
Yep.
yeah,
Well, as my mum always said, who cares what other people think? You just do you, and if it's not hateful, then hey, Robert. If it's not hateful, then who cares?
Robert, thank you so much for the kind comment you put on the last video. I really appreciate that, by the way. I did injure my back. You injured your hip. I injured my
Yeah, I
back.
did.
There are two people in kind of pain right now. But I figured I would start with the tier list. But before we do that, I guess we should kind of give an introduction to basically how long we've been reading.
Sure.
So I started reading comics specifically when I was very young, like really young. And I'd say my first stuff that I read that made an imprint. So the stuff that made an imprint I was probably around 10-ish, 11-ish. But I would say Roger Stern's run on Spider-Man, spectacular and amazing. Early on, really hit me. And when Batman, as it was changing over to kind of to Danny O'Neill, and it was getting kind of darker, and we were starting to get you're getting a little bit of the supernatural, but getting more of the detective stuff.
Was that pre or after? Was that pre or after the gun?
Which one?
Was that pre or after when he used the gun?
It would be after, Danny O'Neill. Would have been after that.
Because at one point he used the gun, didn't they, for a little short period?
Well, he did for a specific small period, but that's before we were both born. And but he did have the gun in a kind of in an 80s, but that was more of in year 2 when they did that.
Yeah.
But I went into that, and I read a lot of just kind of random stuff. I think DC was harder for me to get into early on, except for the street level characters. I read a bunch of Superman, the cheesy stuff. I really love the Bob Haney stuff, the original Super Sons, Bruce Wayne Jr. So it had Superman Jr., Batman Jr., and all that type of stuff. But eventually I would go on to read, I was there for the 90s comic boom, Image coming about, Vertigo comics. I used to read 2000 AD, which I'm sure you probably did, actually. And then eventually I ended up getting really getting back into it again a few years back around the time that the New 52 came out, and I kind of went back and read some of the earlier stuff, like the Jeff Johns Green Lantern, Rebirth, and all that type of stuff, and just kept reading from there. So go for it, man.
To answer your question, Alan, because you said, are you going to get Star Trek Picard Legacy Collection Blu-ray, includes Next Generation series, Next Generation movies, and Star Trek Picard, the complete series? I would have if I didn't own it already, all that stuff for the most part. It's a lovely set. I love the color of it because it matches his uniform. But I'll be honest with you, the set, as great as it looks, if I've already got Picard season 1 and 2 and I've got the movies, I'm not going to buy it. Especially considering that's Blu-ray, and the movie's now on 4K. So it kind of makes it out of date, really. I mean, if you've got the 4Ks, if you haven't, then it don't really matter because they're probably the remasters. Anyway, for me, I grew up basically, where shall we start? I was a young kid in about, let's say, 1992. I walk into a comic shop called Rodney's, and it was right by the train station, and in there was a gold-plated, kind of cover of a X-Men title, right? And I was like, I have to. Hey, hello, Presswood.
Yeah.
Good to see you. So basically, I went in there. Rodney's was like a small comic shop, and it had like collectible cars and other stuff, behind there. And so I started looking around in there, and they started having these bundles of like 10 comics for, I think it was like $3.
I remember those.
So that's how I got into basically getting, comics. I started off getting, like X-Men and, stuff like that, as well as Deadpool and stuff like that. But also some really weird ones, to me at the time, like Judge Dredd and, stuff like that. Because everybody knew Marvel, practically, because it was all over the place. In the 90s, you had the toys, you had the figures. So even if you didn't read the comics, you knew them. So after that, basically, I started going in Rodney's a lot with my mum and getting loads of those packages, right? So I started becoming a Spider-Man collector. The comics were really weird because they were kind of small, but they weren't full size. They were kind of small with like harder covers, like harder cardboard. I wish I had some of them now, but I don't, sadly, because obviously they got wrecked when I was a kid. But so I was reading comics, and then basically when I moved out my nan's, I was able to start really collecting because I was earning money. So I started picking up things like Punisher Max, Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Fantastic Four, stuff like Captain America, and so on, and Batman, the stuff. And I had other stuff like I had a bit of Criminal, the Ed Brubaker. And I was reading things like video game comics, like Tomb Raider and stuff. And I was really enjoying it, And then I had to move, and obviously I couldn't take that all with me. So I had to get rid of most of it. So when I got to America, which was like 11 years ago, we were out one day, and there was a comic shop, right? And I ran in there, and they went, 50 comics for $20 in these boxes. So I ran in there. Yeah, it was epic, I tell you. Ran in there, saw a whole load of comics, ended up going in there a week later, buying Arrow, Flash, what other ones was there? The Department of the Truth, Saga, you name it, Hellboy. Right, every week I went in there, I spent like $300-400 on comics, and I even got the sleeves to put them in. And then what happened was I bought a Spider-Man graphic novel out of half-price books, and I just kept on, collecting them. And then what happens? I have to move, so then I have to get rid of them again, right? And now I've only got a few. What comics do you have, Sarah?
Who do you collect?
Yeah, what do you collect? So it's really good. It's really nice. And then basically I started reading them digitally, just because I wanted to save time on my Kindle, and basically my Kindle don't work anymore. So I was like, oh well, I'm not going to buy a Kindle just to read them. So I'll buy a few graphic novels, and that's what I started doing. So I'm quite happy about that. Wonder Woman and Joker, good choices.
Very good choice.
Oh, if you watched the last stream with me and Aaron, he said he identified with Dawson and Pacey, right? I identify with the Joker.
Which version?
People know me. What version? I'd say the let's say what one? Obviously not the Batman 52 version. I would say probably. Oh, that's a really hard question.
Especially when they put
a really hard question.
Jokers like recently.
Yeah.
So, did you read that yet, by the way? 3 Jokers storyline?
No, not yet. But I got it, haven't I?
It's okay.
It's not brilliant.
It's not brilliant. I mean, like the setup is better than the execution. But you got it there.
There it is. See, right here.
Think about it, but the artwork's fantastic.
It is. So I've been wanting to get some more. I want to get some. I want to get some more Batman. My local Waterstones, I think it's called over here. They have a graphic novel section, but it's really bad. What I mean by that is they're all really thin paperbacks. There's no actual omnibuses or, the big ones there. And then they want like 40, 50 quid for ones like this that you can get off of Amazon for like 18.
Go to your local like charity shops, man. Just check those out first.
I go in the charity shops, but they never have them. Unless they're the Simpsons.
I lucked into an Epic collection, Silver Surfer Epic collection at one of those places recently. At a very
that's what they're the black and white ones, right?
No, that's the you're thinking the essentials. So I got them upstairs.
Okay, essential.
So essentials were for Marvel and DC as showcase. They were kind of black and white, like telephone books. But after Marvel stopped doing like these essential collection, they did like the color collection called the Epic collection. I'll show you some afterwards.
Okay. I also collected manga for a long time. So, Lone Wolf and Cub, Crime Freeman, Samurai Executioner, you name it. And I loved it. Also, as well as what's that?
Dirty Pair.
Yeah, all these ones. And School Ninja or whatever her name is, Secret Ninja, that was good. And I used to collect them. I used to also get the, more gay-orientated manga because I used to enjoy reading that.
Oh.
It was very, but I always thought it was very, very interesting to read because I always thought it had more to it,
Me, I'm not as big on like my better half of more manga, I think, than I have. I read like a lot of the stuff you would expect that showed up like North America. Like Dirty Pair I found because I had a friend in college, and we would like buy the anime from over in Japan, and it would not be translated, by the way. So we would put it on VHS, and we'd watch it, and so there'd be a bunch of stuff again. Not like I watched Akira. First time I saw Akira, no English. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Akira, Dirty Pair, stuff like that, and then ended up like looking for the books. I think Lone Wolf and Cub was one of the first I found. And eventually, of course, like Shonen Jump came about, and Shoujo Beat, which lasted for a little bit as well. Because I did tend to like a lot of the story-related ones, the relationship, as opposed to some like some more the action mech ones. So I was big into the relationships. So what we normally consider, I guess, sometimes some of the girls' manga was the shoujo stuff, was some stuff that I got more interested or involved in. But for me, when it came to comics again, like during the whole like locked in the house type of thing, that's when I found out omnibuses existed, and that changed my world. We're collecting this stuff. But with that being said, let's do a tier list. Let's argue.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So you want to would you like to do MCU Phase 4 or DCEU first? How do you want to do?
Let's do MCU.
Yeah, I think that is the least problematic one, I think. What's problematic?
Yeah, I think that'd be the easiest one to go for.
All right, maybe I'll put us down here. Oh no, maybe I'll put us here. So the way I got it done, and so you haven't seen this like really ahead of time. So we have, so for Marvel, the top level. So this is the best of the best. It's Excelsior. Then if it's great, it's Mighty Marvel. If it's good, but not great, What If? So basically, could have been better. What if it had been better?
Yep.
No prize means it's kind of meh, not really that great. Enough said just means it's didn't like it dull.
Okay.
So obviously this is going to be a harder one because we are going to have to agree on it and state our reasons why and why not. So let me just open up my this so I can see when people comment as well. So everybody else when it comes to this. And remember,
Cardcaptor Sakura is great, Alan. It's really good.
Oh yeah, I love Cardcaptor. Somebody mentioned Cardcaptor?
Yeah.
So the thing that made me think about doing this was that they announced that that Gal Gadot wasn't coming back as a Wonder Woman, that there wasn't going to be a third film. And it always hit me like when I heard the news, it's kind of suspicious because like when you read through the interview, she's talking about, well, I guess we'll know when Superman gets cast. And I'm like, Superman got cast a while back. So obviously, she had a new movie and they had an old interview and they kind of just pimped it.
Well, if she wants to do a third movie, she can come and make me. I'll help her do a third movie. It might not end up in the public eye, but I'll make it with her.
These are for Patreon, dude.
Hey, I'm not saying anything bad.
Okay. Let's just get. I want to get to. I got to open up my Wikipedia because I need to know. I want to do this in chronological order as we vote on this stuff. So Marvel Phase 4, right? Because Phase 5 just started with Secret. So for those that are wondering why Secret Invasion is not in here, for instance, it's part of Phase 5. It's actually part of the new phase.
Because I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, people keep talking about, like Malcolm, all the time, like how can this movie like mar the greatness of Secret Invasion? What an amazing, like how amazing Secret Invasion was. What a great comic story it was. I watched Secret Invasion when I read Secret Invasion when it came out in the comics. People freaking hated it. It was only after the fact people started liking Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion got a ton of hate, especially because Civil War came just before it, and what they wanted to do was have. Let's start with the movies. We'll do the movies first, and we'll do TV shows afterwards. Sound good?
All right. Sounds good.
So we're starting with Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson. It is the prequel film, and we do get to have like Florence Pugh come in and take over the role of because sort of sister of Black Widow. She's a character from the comics as well. We get a good cast in this one. William Hurt's in it. David Harbour's in it. David Harbour's hilarious in this film.
Yeah.
Olia Kurlenko is really kick-ass. Her character gets a lot of hate because she's not the Taskmaster that is from the comic books. People have to kind of take into consideration that 90% of the people that are watching this here aren't reading comic books. That's us. No. They're coming in for an action movie. So according to them, to a lot of people, they're watching like this is a super movie. Maybe Batman pop up anytime. That it's a normal consensus. So they won't know. Like, isn't Taskmaster a very skilled martial artist like that trains a lot of villains? And they're like, yes, he is. But but in this one, Taskmaster, like spoiler alert for the movie, Taskmaster is not like in the comic.
No.
But this Taskmaster can't be because it has to fit in with the storyline, and that would not work for this story. And it does a good job for a part of a setup for some other films. But what did you think of the film itself? How did you find it?
I found it pretty decent. I didn't think it was the best one that they released, but I thought it was pretty good. Scarlett Johansson was great in it, and so was Florence Pugh. I like their chemistry. I think Oleg was fine, in the role for what it was. And David Harbour I thought was great as kind of like the dad character, I thought he was brilliant. I liked the action. And other than that, I thought it was all right. I don't think it's the most amazing one. I'll be honest with you, I don't think it would be a top tier Marvel film.
No.
But I think it's decent if you wanted something to fill in the time of waiting for another Marvel movie. Didn't
it almost seem like, I will say, it did seem a bit like there was a bit of filler there. Like, I liked the movie. I thought it was good. The cast was fantastic. Rachel Weisz is really good in this movie.
Yes.
But I would literally put this in the middle of the road. So I would say, what if? So it's good.
Yeah.
Not great. It's not the best, but it's
it's middle of the road. Yeah, definitely.
Like, definitely one to watch, but not something that you're going to have to go out of your way.
One to watch when you ain't got any of the others to watch.
Yeah, pretty much. We're going to get to ones that may not be that. Okay, so next up is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh, it's brilliant.
This is one of my favorites, actually. This is one of my favorites of this.
I love it. I love it.
And it's one that I watched
Yeah.
quite a bit. So I wouldn't put it top because I think it has the potential to be a top, but I would put it in Mighty Marvel, I think. I had a lot of this. The action's fantastic.
Yeah. I thought the action scenes were phenomenal. I like the character building. I like the whole thing because in a way, Shang-Chi's like the Asian version of Black Panther, you know, in the kind of culture aspect, I mean, you know, but it's trying to show of the character. And I thought that was really well done. As somebody who's always been a fan of the whole Asian culture, I really liked it. I felt like I had a lot more going for it than what a lot of people realised. There are some things, like you said, that have beats missing. You know, like Tony Law's great as the dad, but I kind of wish it'd been other things. But it never feels like he fully reaches it. The CGI at the end is a bit over the top and kind of takes away from the film. Ben Kingsley's great in it.
He's
fantastic. You know, and the female
Awkwafina. She's really good.
Awkwafina, that's it. She's great in it because she's a comedian, isn't she?
Yeah, like a lot of people thought she was going to kind of take away from it, but I thought she added to the film. And I like that, like, for those that haven't read the comics and Master of Kung Fu, Shang-Chi can be a little bit dry of a character. Like, it's a spy thriller, like mixed with the martial arts thing. Yeah. But as it's gotten like the more modern comics, we've got more of a modern take on it, which is good, actually. I love the early stuff, but I'm glad it's changed with the times. But yeah, I would put this in Mighty Marvel 100%. I think it's they did a really good job with it.
I would put it there for sure. I think hopefully the second one will be better.
Well, I think it's one of those that just really kind of, if they've hit a spot where like, okay, they can only go up from here. Like, not that it's bad, but that they set it up so well. And speaking of movies and setups, I think we may have differing opinions on this one, but let's talk about the Eternals.
Okay.
I'll go first on this one because basically, I'm going to be honest. I'm a massive fan of the Eternals, the comic, and I love like the Kirby stuff. I love all this stuff, but I think that there's a lot of like TV shows that could have been movies. This is the opposite. This is a movie that would have worked better as a TV show. Like, it was so well casted. Like every actor in this film. I thought that, unlike a recent movie that I saw with a speedster in it, that the ending to this is actually solid. But I had problems. I thought there were some pacing issues with the film. I loved that they put in the Black Knight. And I hope that this isn't the only Eternals movie. I've heard that they're going to do a second one.
Oh, nice.
I really hope so, because the setup is so good, and we got a lot of really good characters here that we haven't seen enough of. And we do need to see more. Why was he in it? Well, he's an actor too, Alan. So he wasn't actually an Eternal. He plays what's his name again? Star Fox, right?
Yeah.
Which makes sense. If you have the character Star Fox, it's actually perfect casting. But yeah, no, I want to see more of him because I'm a big Star Fox fan. I used to read The Defenders when I was a kid too. So
I want to see as less of Harry Styles as I can because he annoys me.
He'll be good in this, trust me. Because you read that Star Fox character, it's cool. But what's your thoughts on Eternals?
I turned it off. That's how much. It wasn't Eternal. I turned it off halfway through because I got fed up with it. So, I liked that Angelina Jolie was in it. And I liked, what's his name? The Korean actor who was in Train from Busan. I know his name. I just can't remember it. The big guy.
I know what you're talking about, yeah. What I think is, like, you got, like, Kamal Najani, who like has worked out like crazy, like to make
Yeah.
this, and he didn't get utilized well enough. Now I do think
No.
Barry Keegan's really freaking good in this movie, though. But I think I like Barry Keegan in it.
Yeah. I barely remember it, to be honest.
It's like it's. I mean, like you should have watched it at the end because you got the Black Knight portion coming in there, and you get the first kind of like you get the voice cameo Blade, which is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it does. The ending it's good, but it doesn't feel solid. It doesn't feel like the
No.
structures is not there. It's not. I hate to do this because I do think that I would normally put this in middle of the road, but I don't think it's there, that the structure is there enough, and it would be unfair to put it up with the Black Widow because I think Black Widow's
I say it goes under enough said.
no way. No, it's too
Yes.
good
I
to
turned
be.
it off. Enough said. I turned it off.
You have
That's
to
what I'm
watch.
going to say.
You're not going to understand so much of the upcoming Marvel. It's an important film, dude. It sets up a lot. But yeah, no. This will go no. I'll go for no prize, but I can't go for no set. Not for the Eternal.
Okay, I'll go for enough said, but I can't go for no prize.
Since I have the.
No, hold on. You said we have to agree.
We do.
That's cheating.
I know.
I see how it is now.
Sometimes you die a hero, and other times you live long enough to become a bad guy. No, I
It
mean,
probably is. To be fair, it probably is a no price. It's just that I turned off. I think it was one of those days where I just couldn't get into it. You know, when you can't get into a movie, and you just turn it off. I think it was one of those. I need to watch it because I've got 4K now. So
it's not a great film. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like No Prize is a low rating for like one of these films.
yeah,
It's it's way down there. Like I can't put it in like enough said. Like I say that for like the bottom of the barrel. Like this. Like I can't watch it. Like at all. Or it's just. And I'll be honest with you. There's not going to be much on here that I can see going into that. But like because there's some.
I can see 8 things going in there.
I know one.
But I can see one thing. I can see one thing definitely going down there.
I know one that like some certain people are going to be like iffy on. They're going to be kind of peeved when I get to it. So that's why I'm waiting.
All right.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Disappointing.
Are you serious?
I found that. Yeah, I found it really disappointing. I found it predictable. I found it dull. I found the whole storyline with Doctor Strange just shoehorned in there, making it terrible. Even though, it's a part of the thing, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't feel, it felt forced through the whole thing. It just felt forced, and I hated the whole, let's get the surprise people to pop in. It just felt silly. It didn't feel serious. It didn't feel like there was any real jeopardy, to me. And I just found it a dreary mess. I had to watch it over 4 sittings because I was like, what the hell's going on? Why am I so bored? This is Spider-Man. This is one of my favourite characters, And the fact that they had to bring the Green Goblin and, all that back for this, it just... I don't know. I guess I kind of wish they'd have just add different villains instead of the same old ones over and over and over again.
I mean, I like this. I mean, this is the first time we got to see like the villains kind of team like this, and we got like the different Spider-Man. I'm so glad because Andrew Garfield like had to star in Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was a horrible film, and that would have been enough said, by the way. And he was done dirty. So it felt really good to see Garfield come back and see him do like really kind of take stage. Like Garfield has a solid part in this film. And obviously this is not going to be as good as like Into the Spider-Verse or anything like that. But I think it's definitely like a solid film, some great acting. And especially I love the fact I didn't think I was going to because it was spoiled for me ahead of time. What happens with Aunt May. And I thought it was going to piss me off so much, but it made so much sense. because we hadn't got that moment with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
we needed it there. And this is the bleakest of the Spider-Man films. Like, it ends tragically.
Yeah.
You don't get like, it's not something where you're gonna have to wave a wand and like, and the fact that Tom Holland is thinking of leaving this role, um, it's
I thought you signed up for the. I thought you signed up for the fourth one.
well, yeah, but I mean, like, he's not here for much longer. Like he's done the three, like everybody's done. He'll go on for the fourth, but I don't see him coming back for a fifth film. I don't see him doing. I see him going on from that. Like right now, Tom Holland's had like a bit of like issues like outside of this. Like he had a bit of stress. He had some issues. Like he was found that he was drinking too much, so he had to
Oh,
he stopped that. But yeah, he was having like some definite like issues outside of out of this, and he's young, and he's not as young as he looks, but he's like young, and so much being like shoved on this guy's like shoulders. Like he's like, here, play Spider-Man, do Uncharted, like we want you to do this. There's this other thing coming out. Well, I want to put these other franchise on you. And the guy, you get to a point we just don't want to. You're like, I can't breathe.
watch him anymore.
Well, not him, no, him, like doing it, like basically not wanting to do it, like not wanting to. Like I could see him being one of these guys that decides, oh, I'm going to retire from acting for a few years because it's too much. It's too much. I want actor. It really is. I would say for this one here, although I would put this in Mighty Marvel, I'm willing where I cheated a bit in Eternals. I'm willing to put it in What If you want to put it.
I say put it in No Pies.
I don't think anybody here would agree if we put this in No Pies.
What If, definitely, because it is,
And when you think about it, it's kind of the definition of a What If film.
Hey, Sean, did you see that Spider-Man fan film that came out a few days ago?
I don't think I did, actually. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. I didn't hear about it.
I saw like a clip online, like a picture. Okay, we're up to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, no.
And this is where we're definitely going to disagree on this one, because this is one of the ones where not just me, my sister-in-law too, was a massive fan. Although I do think that they did like Scarlet Witch's character a little dirty in this film, especially after what happened to her before. But I do really enjoy. I love Sam Raimi. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is so well directed, and the visual stylings of this one is fantastic. And when it gets into the horror aspects of it, when we get to the part where they're going through the multiverses, and they reach the Illuminati, like the way she takes them out, like she slaps.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, no, she wouldn't be able to. Yes, she's
like, man, she's the most powerful witch in the.
Yes, she is the Scarlet Witch. And then like in, remember Vengeance is Assembled, right? When she pretty much Hawkeye and Jack of Hearts and all those characters. But so I'm guessing you didn't like this one very much from your.
No, me and my wife both watched the first one, years ago. Absolutely loved it. Watched this one, was like, this ain't Doctor Strange. This ain't the Doctor Strange we want. But that's what happens when you get these directors. The same thing happened with Taika Waititi with the other movies, They changed tone completely instead of being what they were originally meant to be, I'm not saying that takes away from the story so much, but it just adds a different aspect. Was it good? Was it well shot? Yeah, it was well shot. Did I think Scarlet Witch was a boring villain? Yeah. Right. Did I enjoy seeing the whole different realities with like different people being different superheroes and stuff? Yeah, I like that. I felt sorry for all these Doctor Strangers kept getting killed, and that they kept failing over and over again, or turning evil, But I did think it was pretty. I mean, it had some great moments, but I found it forgettable for the most part. I think maybe that's because I watched it once. A lot of people probably would watch a movie over and over and over again. You know, me, I'm watching that and I'm going, let's go to the bottom if I'm watching it again. I watched it in 4K as well.
See, I watched it around 4 times, like now. But I'm a mass. Like I'm gonna be open here. I'm a massive Doctor Strange fan, and I love the first Doctor Strange film, but this was more in tone with the comics than the first film. Like the first, like we got the Dorm. We didn't get a lot of Dormer move, but we got like that classic, him coming back again and again, and it's great. It's fantastic. It's funny, and it's a great setup. And Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing in it. But Multiverse of Madness for me just hits more, like gets more into what Doctor Strange, what the weirdness of Doctor Strange's world. Like this is like characters were created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, and Ditko is insane, most insane. Now, like I thought like the first Doctor Strange was really good, but it seemed like later, like it maybe Roy Thomas, like Doctor Strange. But for me, this kind of captured a bit more of that kind of insane feel that
I'll be honest with you. I haven't read many Doctor Strange comics. I've read some, but not enough to be like an expert on, like the films kind of thing on that aspect.
But that's the thing, you shouldn't have to. Like when you're watching one of these movies, though, Malcolm, like I said at the beginning of this video, like 90% of the people watching this movie isn't me. They're not going in looking for Doctor Strange. So the movie has to be something that entertains you, whether you read a comic or not. Like that shouldn't matter. That's why when people say, "Well, I'm not going to go see blank DC film because they're capturing the universe." Well, what does that matter? Like if it's a movie that you're going to be interested in, and you're going to enjoy watching, who cares if it's going to continue on for 17 years? Enjoy one movie that's there right now.
Yeah.
So no, you're like when you say like I haven't read a lot of Doctor Strange, but I didn't like it. That's exactly like more of the thing that you're looking for. I shouldn't have to like say, okay, well, I can compare it to this and this for somebody to like it. So no, I definitely like kind of I get, and I definitely take more into consideration what you say because you haven't read a lot of Doctor Strange because it failed to generate excitement.
Well, it wasn't just me; it was my wife as well. She was massive,
and she
loved the first one. She thought the first one was brilliant, and after watching this one, she was like, she was like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch a third one.
I say give it another try, though. I do think Sam Raimi's coming back. Just so you know, they've been working hard getting him to come back. He doesn't want. He doesn't want to, but they want him to.
I say bring Sam Raimi in to do the next Bond movie. That would be interesting. A lot of nightmare scenes.
What do you think? Is this middle of the road? We're going to go no prize? Like, obviously, it's not going to go like bottom. It's not that. Like, it introduced some nice things into the film, and the ending introduced a character that I'm very excited to see in the next film. By the way,
I'll say no prize.
Okay, let's either get it because I know there's going to be some here where I'm going to put them higher, so you're getting this one. Okay, let's talk. No, it's fair. Let's talk about one that gets a lot of hate online, and that is very much not like the comic book. So Taika Waititi did Thor Ragnarok, and it was a massive hit. Then Taika Waititi came and did Thor: Love and Thunder, and it did not do half as well. Thor. Now, for those that read the comic, Thor: Love and Thunder is based on the Unworthy Thor and the Thor the God Butcher storylines, and they are very dead serious, almost brutal. Storylines that have some very adult type elements into it.
Sure, yeah.
Not at all what Love and Thunder was. What did you think?
I loved Love and Thunder. I did love the villain, and now I know why. Because basically wasn't, the villain-wise. But I loved the whole Jane and Thor situation. I love that she got the powers. And I loved the goodbye bit where she fades away. I love the soundtrack. I love the bit in the beginning. I love the comedy in it. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was different. But I will say, as somebody who found out that it's not exactly like the character, I can understand why people would be unhappy.
Jane doesn't die in the comic though. She becomes a different hero. She's becomes Valkyrie.
Well, I'm glad she dies in the movie, because at least it makes it, at least one of the characters actually dies.
Well, I think and I don't think you're going to get her to come back. Like Natalie Portman's like, okay, I'll come back to do this because I get to wield the hammer. Well, like she was hard to get back for Thor. I don't blame her. They didn't really utilize the character extremely well.
And how can you not like all the comedy with Zeus and all this other stuff? It was amazing.
That was fun.
I loved it.
But where do you want to put this one?
I would put this as Excelsior.
I won't put it as Mighty Marvel. I don't think
Mighty Marvel.
Because like it's fun and it works good, especially if you haven't read the comics, it works even better. And we're about to get to that one that you mentioned. Actually, Wakanda Forever. Sean says it may have the best villain in Phase 4. Namor is actually really, really good in this. They changed the character a bit, but it works. Now, it unfortunately underperformed as well. But I'm sorry, if you're putting out this many TV shows and this many movies in at this space of time,
they're not all gonna get the attention, are they?
That and also like if you're reshooting and you're doing all this type of like kind of crazy stuff and you're just shuffling it around, so you can't expect like to just switch the order of your films around and not have effect. What's happening?
I think a lot of people as well. I think a lot of people they've also got this thing now where they're like, well, we've got to watch certain things in order so that we don't miss out. And when something new comes out, they go, well, we're still behind, so we need to catch up with that. And sometimes I think that affects it as well.
It does. Welcome, Maddie, by the way. I think you're going to but how did you? So for me, Wakanda Forever, I very much enjoyed this film. I like the action in this one. Chadwick Boseman was missing, but what the hell could you do? I mean, this is absolutely for me anyway, was the absolute best that they could do with this. They've set it up for future Black Panther. We got to see kind of the interim Black Panther, same as was in the comics. And we got Namor introduced into the universe. Maybe like mutants as well. So this one I enjoyed a lot. For me personally, like this goes up fairly high. What do you think?
I ain't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, you'll like this one, I think.
So you get to pick where it goes because I haven't seen it yet.
Yikes. Let's see. Save my better hat. Hand. How high up would you put Wakanda Forever? You've seen it.
I liked it.
Would you say, let's say there's top list is Excelsior, great is like Mighty Marvel, good is What If? Where'd you put it? Good. Okay, we're putting it good.
All right.
And now we're getting to the thing that a lot of people we're getting to the stuff that people are going to like get really, really different on.
What is that?
Because some people just really rag on some of the TV stuff, and it is so not fair. Because there is so much goodness. Actually, I will say this right now: there's better stuff that we've seen in the TV portion of Marvel by far than there is in the film side of Marvel this time. And we start off with WandaVision.
Well, I can say right now that's Excelsior.
Yeah, agreed. Like there's something about that show that is absolutely stunning. The way they did this, and the fact that they pulled it off, like when I was told that there's going to be a WandaVision show, I was not sure. Like, and I like the characters Wanda and Vision. I love their characters. But then they said, okay, by the way, every episode is going to be a different, like comedic, like comedy.
Which was incredible. It was just incredible. The promos, the trailers,
but
everything about it was incredible.
100% thought that was going to be the biggest failure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was 100% wrong. I was glad to be wrong. I was really glad to be wrong. This blew my mind. And every week we were waiting. There was me and my better half from Raj, and we would wait for when that show would drop. We would be ready to watch it, waiting for the after credit sequence, trying to get all the clues in, trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And it has one of the most catchy songs, Agatha All Along, which I absolutely adore. I'm a massive fan of that actress. And I love the fact that she's getting her own like limited series. I also love the fact that Aubrey Plaza is going to be in it. So that takes two of my favorite actors and puts them in the same show. Possibly rumored as a couple, which that's already been on my bucket list of things I'd like to see. So we got Catherine Hahn and Plaza. I'm down. I'm down for that. So
me too.
People are like, oh, I don't want to see an Agatha show. Like, honestly, I don't care. I don't care, man. Agatha All Along. I want to see it. Hey, Swift man, welcome. All right. So the second one up, though, is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Ooh. I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty good for what it was. I don't remember much of it because I watched it so long ago. But I remember it being. I thought, but it actually was really good.
Yeah, it's one that got better as it went along. I mean, like, I loved the Winter Soldier's like arc about the guilt that he's feeling for the things that he's done in the past, and the Falcon becoming Captain America. Like, not automatic. Like, Steve gives him the shield, and a lot of people didn't understand. Okay, why is he? Why doesn't he just take it? Why doesn't he just become Captain America? That's what this show is all about. That's why it's called
But
Falcon.
you can't, can you?
Yeah, like that's the thing. That, imagine that. Like you're given like this is the icon. This is icon of the country, and okay, yeah, no, you're next. It's not that easy, and a lot of people initially wouldn't accept Falcon, and it's actually focused on too. Rick Remender did the run on that. It's really great. I would say because I like the villain. It's the villain. She's so good. Flag Smasher. Because here Marvel has this really like they're smart with their villains of being able to make villains that you can kind of root for a bit.
Yeah.
Because overall, what they're saying there isn't wrong. Like these are displaced people. We would get to see more of this like in the next phase of Secret Invasion. But I think this is done better because you like until she really has to go like blow up some people, like really blow up some innocent people before you actually feel that she's not in the wrong. And the villain kind of becomes the guy that says, "Oh, I'll be Captain America,"
which is brilliant.
Which is John Walker, and I think is fantastically well done. Like Kurt Russell's son, Wyatt Russell, plays the role, and man, he's got like a skin. Maddie says he put Winter Soldier in upper what if, lower Mighty Marvel. Actually, I'm not too far off that. I would say Mighty Marvel. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd put it there. I remember it more since you spoke about it because it kind of refreshed my brain. But yeah, I did like it.
And from there, we get what is probably going to be what I think is one of the most brilliant shows they did alongside WandaVision, is Loki. This absolutely blew my mind.
I was praying for a Loki show. I'm glad it's getting a second season.
And the only one, like we know so far, that is getting a second season too, is Loki. I think what makes this brilliant, like only Loki could fall in love with the female version of Loki, which is brilliant with his ego. So the character that Owen Wilson plays he's been a TVA agent, is based off of a Marvel writer by the name of Mark Grunwald, who passed away. But he was one of those guys that knew, like, if anybody in Marvel had any like issues, like, well, okay, continuity wise, and he wanted to know something, he would go to Grunwald because Grunwald would know.
Sure.
So when they made the TVA as a tribute to this guy that knew everything but Marvel continuity, they drew him to look like Mark Grunwald. And Owen Wilson looks a lot like Mark Grunwald, which is fantastic for a comic book geek. Extra from there. But what did you think? I love Loki. I mean, like, Loki is an Excelsior for me.
I loved it. I thought it was really good. Loki's one of my favorite characters in the movie universe anyway. So I would watch anything with that character in, and the fact that he can be so sneaky and so great, and you never know what he's going to get up to, it just adds to it. And like you said, falling in love with like the female version himself adds to that. It's like double the fun.
And I think we've seen our best version of Kang already, and they killed him.
Yeah.
Just saying, man.
I think I'd put up there. I'd put up there with Excelsior.
Like, there's like this is where like Marvel shine this time around. Some of their TV stuff, not everything, but some of it. And
give me a sec. While you talk, I'll be right back. I just got to shut the window.
Oh, nice. Hopefully it's something good. Hand we're up to What If. So, guys, what are you thinking so far? We are at.
I'm thinking.
We're
it's
at
great list.
The first animated series from Marvel MCU, and it's What If.
You know what? I really liked it. I liked the differences and what could have happened, in different positions, because I read the comics as well.
I love these different positions. But I love What If. Like, I love the What If. Like, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't love every episode of What If.
Of course not. No. I mean, some of them were hit and miss, obviously, because of what the positions they were in. But some of them must have been hard to get in, and some of them probably were fairly easy.
Like, I mean, Doctor Strange one, like, although like I liked it overall for what it was, and can I be honest with you? I have yet to like completely finish What If. The only Marvel series that, and I mean, I've seen parts of the last episode, but I have not sat down and watched all of it yet. Like, I love the first episode; that was fantastic. I think it's uneven. I couldn't put that in Excelsior. Like, I honestly think What If belongs in What If. Like, I think a second season is nothing better, but I think it's a good one. But maybe an overarching narrative, which you kind of get, but you don't totally get, would help. Help it a bit, but where it's same as What If the comic. Like, when you're buying the comic, you get fantastic ones. Like, what if like Spider-Man like became like his Uncle Ben didn't die, and you get like a really cool issue, and then you get like another What If story, and you're like, oh God, can I get through this one quickly enough? So
I think they should mix it up with things like, what if Spider-Man was Black Cat, and what if Batman, all that stuff, even though Batman's not in Marvel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, like, one of my favorite was when they took Black Panther and made him from the villain from the movie.
Yeah,
that was well done.
I would probably put What If under What If, because I don't think it's good enough to be Marvel. It's definitely not good enough to be Excelsior, but it is fun.
It is a lot of fun, and it's something I think people should watch. And I will eventually finish it. Maybe I'll change my thoughts on it as we go through. But we come to the Christmas Marvel show, and that will be Hawkeye.
Nice. I really liked Hawkeye. I like the relationship between him and what's her name? Haley Steinfeld?
Kate Bishop.
No, the actress.
Oh, the actress. Oh God.
Haley Steinfeld, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I really liked their chemistry, and I really thought it was really good. But I felt like the show also, other than their relationship, felt like a whole load of nothing as well. At the same time, like it felt like it just kind of dragged a little bit too much for me. It was 6 episodes, right?
Yeah, like I think,
Yeah.
I think, I
The
think
ending was great.
Oh, the ending was, man, the last episode was just one of the best. Like Kingpin shows up, like the person that you think is going to be the bad guy,
Yeah,
not the bad guy.
yeah,
Um, but it's the other girl, it's the other person.
yeah.
So yeah, because the swordsman's in it as well. So I mean, I like the setup for it. I'm maybe one of the only people, but I liked Echo. I thought
Yeah.
it was really well done. And it's nice to see like a bit like characters with disabilities as well.
Yeah, I like that.
And she was kick-ass too. I mean, she legit was kick-ass.
Yeah.
So where would you put this?
I think, the part of me thinks between Mighty Marvel and What If,
I would put
because I really like it, but at the same time, I feel like there was so much that could have been better about it as well.
I think because it's so similar in that way to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's like that there was
Okay.
good parts in both parts of both of those shows.
Yeah,
That they both belong in the same tier.
sure. Yeah.
And now we get to before we even go any further, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be honest. One of my favorite Marvel characters of all time.
She-Hulk.
No, but one of my favorite actors, Oscar Isaac, and it is Moon Knight. Moon Knight is a character with dissociative identity disorder that literally has a kind of a god of vengeance inside of him. He's sort of Marvel's Batman in a way, and because he does like these street level crime stuff, but he also does like this kind of. He's one of the when he's at full power. Moon Knight can be one of the most amazingly powerful characters. And the fact is that he's not just Moon Knight. Like he's Mr. Knight, and then he has the suit, and he's Mark Spector. He's Stephen Grant, and at the end of the series, spoiler alert, he is Jake Loxley, who is the most vicious version of Moon Knight. He is the one that will kill and will get things done. We don't find out about Jake Loxley until the very ending sting credit of the series. I absolutely adored Moon Knight. This was one that I came back again and again, and it's probably like next to WandaVision, it's my most watched.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I think it's well acted, well paced. I think it's got a lot of great twists in it when you're watching it, and I think it's just a fun time.
And it's like that song. I love that song, by the way. That he wakes up to every time I wake. That is, that is in my playlist, by the way. It's in my Spotify list.
Yeah. Definitely Excelsior, I would say.
I would definitely put this one at Excelsior.
I just want to apologise quickly to people. I've got a bit of a bad cough. So I apologise if you hear me cough a lot because for some reason I've got a bit of a scratchy throat. It's one of the reasons why I'm not talking as much.
Oh, understandable, man. If you have any issues or you need to go or anything like that for any time or taking water or whatever.
Oh no, I can stay. I just might not say as much as I would normally, on things. But I've got everything almost well-winded anyway on the list so far.
So before we do the last two, because I know they're going to be contested by some people, but let's go to the specials.
Okay.
So there's 2 specials that came out, and we'll start off with Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special.
Hello, Raf. I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy, the Christmas special. I thought it was all right. It screamed TV budget kind of look, but then, like you said, it's special, isn't it?
Exactly.
It weren't meant to be more than that. But I thought it goes through well. I loved the Kevin Bacon appearance. Yeah. I loved the characters. I loved the whole. What was it? I just loved the whole premise of it, and I liked it was around Christmas. I'm hoping it's released on the 4K.
I wish a lot of this stuff would be released. Most of the TV stuff has been released, but it was really good. I mean, it was a take on the Star Wars holiday special. which James Gunn was infamously is a bad holiday special, but which James Gunn loves.
Mm.
And he did make a good special of this. But I agree. I know where I'm putting where I think I'm putting one of them, so I'm going to let you put this one down. What do you think?
Okay. It's not Excelsior, I know that.
No.
And I won't call it Mighty Marvel. I think I'd put it as What If because it was fun, but it felt like it was lacking more of the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of atmosphere for me. But
For
it was
me,
fun. It felt.
It was a good watch, but I don't know if we'll go back and watch it anytime in the near future.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Now, the one that I did kind of dig. Let's talk about Werewolf by Night.
Okay.
I enjoyed Werewolf by Night a lot. I love the Marvel horror characters, but what made Werewolf by Night for me even more so, it's a great thrill ride of a special, and it kind of clips by really quickly. Ted, or Man Thing. I am a massive Man Thing fanboy, and to see him finally come to the Marvel universe, and to see the way it was used, this is all action, pretty much just a setup, and then basically this is a most dangerous game type of situation. I love the character of Werewolf by Night. They didn't shy away from the fact that this was a horror show.
Yeah.
It got gory. It did stuff that Marvel would not do normally.
It was different.
Yeah, and to let people know that when people complain that Marvel's Disney, it's Disney-fied, everything's going to be Deadpool's going to be horrible now because Marvel's doing it, can't do it. He's going to be all watered down. This was not watered down. This was your Halloween special, and
Yes.
For me, it's
and it delivered.
It did. It delivered big time. Where do I would say Mighty Marvel or What If? Somewhere between there. It's hard. I see it's almost in between both of those, which makes it hard for me to list it because I can't put it in Excelsior. I don't think it's at Excelsior level. I think it's fantastic.
No.
And it's something I've rewatched, but I don't think it's at that Excelsior level.
Mighty Marvel for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's close, but it's just no cigar.
Now, the most popular and famous modern day character that Marvel has come out with is Miss Marvel. People tend to forget how big of a character she was when she initially started. And when they went to cast for the role of Miss Marvel, they casted a comic book fangirl. And oh boy, does it show. Because there's things I love about this, which is Miss Marvel. The casting, a lot of the acting towards it. There's things that I'm not as big on with this, in that I think that by the end, villain doesn't quite work in the way that I really want it to.
Yeah.
But I think that this is their best casting that Marvel has done in a long time. And I am very excited, more excited about, I guess, the Marvels movie than I would have been before. I'm already a Captain Marvel fanboy. I love Larson in the role and all that type of stuff. So I have no qualms about that. But I was still a bit iffy on a second film until her. I really, really like her. So this one gets a little bit harder for me because I actually love this one. And every week I was waiting to come on. I thought the score is fantastic. That's the best song the weekend, right?
Yeah.
For any of the Marvel shows, best song. And she's so good, and she fits the role so well that it makes it hard to put it it's again, this is one for me that's between What If and a Mighty Marvel. It's really hard to cast that well.
Yeah.
And she is
I mean, great casting, like you said, fits perfectly like a glove, really. I would probably say, for the fun aspect, Mighty Marvel.
I agree. Now let's get to the one that people are going to be wondering about. Now, before we go any farther with this, I'm going to say this like right now because I'm going to get people that are going to kind of mention some of this stuff. So I read a lot of She-Hulk. I'm a big She-Hulk fan. I remember from the Savage She-Hulk days when when Marvel's basically created the character so that they wouldn't do it on the Hulk TV series. So basically, it was a rights thing. But She-Hulk became a popular character when John Byrne took over the sensational She-Hulk. And I've also read the Dan Slott version of She-Hulk, which a lot of this is based on. It's the Dan Slott and the John Byrne era of She-Hulk. And I'm currently reading the Rainbow Rowell as well. She-Hulk is a character that long before Deadpool came around, she was breaking the fourth wall. Deadpool did this, was a kind of more of a Johnny come lately when it came to this type of thing. She-Hulk does it a lot more. And what are your thoughts? Before I give my thoughts, what are your thoughts on She-Hulk?
I haven't seen the show, but on the character itself, I think it's a fun character. I like it.
See, I thought it was really good. I won't spoil too much, but like the She-Hulk went in knowing the people went in knowing that like there was a certain fan base that was not going to like this. They were going to be upset because she's She-Hulk, and but we got Titania from Orphan Black, and you can't get a better actress than that. She is just like Orphan. She was amazing. Did you watch Orphan Black, by the way?
She was. Yes, I've seen the whole series. It's incredible.
The amount of characters that she had to like juggle and play is just insane.
Yeah. Only like 12 altogether, but she was like, including like, I think it's like 12, wasn't there?
Yeah, 12 at least. There may have been a 13th. Near the end, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
12. But I think for me, I'm going to put this in Mighty Marvel.
Okay.
As a series,
I trust your opinion on that.
Put it in Excelsior, but I do think that there's a couple of things within the show that are, like some of the special effects, like Marvel, like with all these TV shows. I'm gonna be honest. Marvel's is definitely not bringing their A game to the CGI thing, but it's not the people.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's the thing that this. So basically, for those that know, when you're working on a show and you basically, when it comes to like the CGI, like the special effects thing, people put in bids, and basically they'll look at your work and they'll take the lowest bid with the best work, and then they'll tell you, okay, this is how much money you got, make this. And there's some iffy, like I'm not gonna lie, some iffy like CGI in this that keeps it from going to top tier.
Yeah.
But Kevin Feige aspect, and the fact that the villain is a bunch of incels, it's kind of cool. But with that being said, and me probably having peeved some people, let's really peeve some people. Here we go. Oh boy, are you ready, Malcolm?
I'm ready.
Oh, shoot. For the man, you can find my video online for Man of Steel, which I gave an incredible review to, and I even fought people over it online back in the day. And so I went to Man of Steel with my better half, went to the theater, and we saw it, and I'm like, oh, that's, there's a couple of times when I was like, was a few WTF moments. Anything with Kevin Costner was the WTF moment, because I'm like, they don't know what Podcast is. like I'm like, that's not. Did he write it? Did Snyder write Man of Steel? Because if he didn't, it's not his fault. So directed by Zack Snyder. Story was available to David S. Goyer. So David S. Goyer, what the hell, man? And it says Christopher Nolan, but Christopher Nolan literally like did not write the film. He had kind of like a kind of cursory credit. So Man of Steel, we've got General Zod. We have a very different take on the Man of Steel. Henry
Yeah.
Cavill was a guy that I was unsure at first because when he was announced, this is a guy that had been in God, what's the name of that show? It was one of those, like period shows. So he was in he was one of those, and he wasn't like a jacked guy. He wasn't like a big guy.
Yeah.
Does he have the muscle mass for it? Well, obviously he did. He put on like massive
Yeah.
amount for this. There's aspects of this that I really enjoyed. Zack Snyder's usual visual style. If you like Zack Snyder's visual style, that's gonna really work for you. If
Yeah.
at times you're like me and you're like, if I see one more damn slow motion scene, I'm gonna scream. Then that's gonna like kind of take away a bit. But with that being said, what are your thoughts on Man of Steel?
I was shocked by it because I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was good. I didn't like Michael Shannon as Zod.
Oh wow.
I didn't like him as Zod. I thought he was just a limp, basically. And I just didn't like it. I didn't like that. I like the relationship between him and Amy Adams. And other than that, I don't think it was that great. I thought it was all right, but it wasn't. It felt too long, I think.
That's going to be
For me.
that's going to be definitely a common thing on this list. I'm going to be honest with you. Well, here's the thing. I can see I can see this being some people's favorite, when it comes to because Superman. It's their first Superman. DC's New 52. They did a brand new Superman character there. Is is someone's favorite Superman. This is not my favorite Superman.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I think it is definitely well. Unlike you, I did not like Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams as an actress, but I think she did a better job as her character in Smallville, which was a villain, than she does as Lois Lane. Because when Smallville, she played like this girl that's like she's kind of like a wallflower, or she's a bigger girl, but she becomes like sort of a vampire, becomes really sexy type thing.
Yeah, I'll never forget where her mouth opens wide and if I remember correctly, she eats that deer.
Someone said Marvel isn't watching. You can be not. Oh, trust me, man. Marvel's never gonna be watching this. But yeah, I mean, I hate to put this because I think there's some good stuff in it. I mean, and I do like Henry Cavill. I don't think I think he's great. He's great as Superman. I was not sold on his Clark. Maybe because we didn't get to see a lot of his Clark. And this
might be.
And the thing is that I can't like hate on that, but because because the Batman it was the same thing. I love the Batman, like the opposite of this. I loved it with Pattinson, and you don't see any of Bruce Wayne in that. Like you see him but he hasn't become Bruce Wayne. He's Batman. Our movie, even when he's in his Bruce Wayne outfit, he's still Batman. But I don't know, man. It's a plane.
I'd put it's okay, to be honest.
Maybe you're right. Actually, we'll do that. We're gonna get some hate for it, but but we gotta be honest. We can't like Sean's right. We can't sugarcoat the stuff that, when it comes to the thoughts here. And it is followed up by I'll get this. Batman v Superman. And I'm going to start off with the things I like. Gal Gadot, awesome as a Wonder Woman. Great choice.
Yes.
I'm not going to say she's a fantastic actress. She's.
It works.
It works. It makes sense. It makes sense. Ben Affleck, I thought he did a great job for what he was given as Batman. He looked the character of Batman. If I was to say, give me a Batman the Animated Series looking Batman, they did it. He when he gets out the car, he looks like the Batman, like Kevin Conroy voice. He looks like him. However, And some people say, "Are you going to get into the Batman killing thing?" Batman kills in every movie. Like, forget that. But you know what he doesn't do? Brand people. He doesn't brand people. Like, what the hell? Maybe if this was John Paul Valley's Batman, he'd be branding people. But you can't. You should not be making a movie that's called Batman v Superman.
No.
Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman in it, and be this mediocre. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like,
And
If
it
you-
has to have it's got to have the worst Lex Luthor ever.
see, I was okay. Like, he's not a good Lex Luthor. I'm not gonna lie, but I was okay because I understood what they were going for. Like, I get what they were going for with Lex Luthor. Some people even said, "Well, he's comic book accurate." No, he's not. In no circumstances, like, is this character comic book accurate? But it doesn't have to be. Like, I don't. Peacemaker is an amazing show, which we'll get to, by the way, Sean. I love the opening of that show, by the way. I kind of want to dance along with them. But I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. I mean, this wasn't. I thought Man of Steel was better than this, and I did. The only reason I might put this above it, and it's is because of the other people in it. Like, again, Henry Cavill is what he is. He's doing what he can do, but it's not great. You should never be looking at a movie with two massive, like, superhero characters in there and thinking, God, when is this going to be over? And I should not get to, like, a seminal sequence in a film and laugh my ass off because that Martha thing, I don't know who thought that was clever, but it was one of those WTF moments where even when I'm watching this, and I watched this in the theater, so not well. We will see, like, Ben Affleck do a better version of Batman later on. This isn't it.
Yeah.
And here's the sad part: he is well cast. He's better cast in it in my opinion. And
I think he pulls it off. I think he's got the look. Yeah, definitely older.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him do his own, but he didn't want to.
Yeah.
He was burnt out. Like, you can watch those, like, those interviews. Sad Affleck meme, right? And he just so doesn't want to be there.
Wow.
It's for me, this is low. This is really low. You want to put it in dud? Because we're going to get to this week. But we go from here directly to, I want to make sure I get these in the right order. Because after Batman versus Superman, then we have, which one is next? I want to get these in the right order, guys. Suicide Squad.
Oh,
and this is David Ayer's Suicide Squad. We get Margot Robbie as doing a really great job, by the way, as Harley Quinn. I think she's amazing as Harley Quinn. We get I love Cara Delevingne, but this is not something I love Cara Delevingne in. I really want to see the Warhammer stuff, by the way. That's the Cavill stuff I'm excited about, the Warhammer stuff, because Cavill's a massive nerd in real life. But we get another, like, there's fun to be had with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But we get another generic villain that doesn't make sense. Because, so get this. So the Suicide Squad, basically, it's a bunch of villains that are put together to, just in case Superman or some high-powered, like, hero kind of goes overboard, right?
Yeah.
But they end up having to fight one of their own team members. So that logic has failed already. And we end it with, what do we end it with? A giant beam in the sky. How many freaking superhero movies got to have a giant beam in the freaking sky? What did you think, man?
I liked Will Smith in it.
He was good.
I liked Harley Quinn. But
the first one. We're talking about the first one now.
I felt like the story was very weak.
It is. I
And
mean,
I got bored very easily, to be honest. And that was by again in day one.
it's generic. Like it's super generic. And not only that, like, so they get Jared Leto to play the Joker, and Jared Leto is a decent actor. Like, obviously, this is a guy. This is a guy that can act. What the hell did they do with the Joker? Why has he got damage on his forehead? What's those tattoos like?
Yeah.
It's
Oh God, I hated the
so,
whole Harley Quinn stuff with Joker. Oh,
the strip club and
I
like
forgot all about that.
as a mobster and like what the hell? Like yeah, no, this is going down. This is okay or dud. Like we're going about it.
It's dud.
All
Dud
right.
for sure.
And next up is actually one that I did enjoy a bit. We'll give a spoiler. We're getting into Wonder Woman. This is a period piece. This is not the second one. This is the first one. I think Gal Gadot is really good in this. They play to her strengths.
Yeah.
The actor that plays the villain, looks similar to me.
David Ferris, right? David Ferris. Because he was in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
He's a quite well-known British actor.
Oh, very well known. I mean, but no, when I was talking about this stuff earlier, like Malcolm, I'd have people come in and like, "Hey, you look like the guy from Prisoner of Azkaban." I knew immediately what they're talking about.
Oh wow!
Maybe the scruffy beard. I don't know. Or the big
Timothy Spall.
What? Yeah. Like,
Timothy Spall, eh?
Oh man. But what do you think? Wonder Woman. I liked Wonder Woman. I did.
I really like Wonder Woman. I can tell you I liked it so much I've watched it 6 times. I love Gal Gadot in the role. At first, I was like, she's not going to be any Linda Carter. You know, she's to this, to that, and more pretty than anything, you know. But, you know, for a modern take on it, I think she's perfect. You know. I love the outfit. I love the relationship with Steve Trevor. I love the romance size. I love how they sleep together so easily. I thought that was quite funny. I like Lucy Davis as the comedy role.
Yes.
You know, I also like the villain because the villain is very unexpected at times.
It's
and I think it's a really good DC movie.
There's a scene.
Go.
That there's a scene where basically they're in the war and they're pinned down and like she's
I remember this scene. Yeah.
So she gets up and she leads the charge. And even though like what happens afterwards is unfortunate, it is a massively like empowering, fantastic scene.
Yeah.
And this was the exact moment when I was like, yes, this is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think it's absolutely fantastic film. Unlike the first one we talked about.
Yeah.
So where do we put that one?
The question is, where do we put it? I would put it at super tier, but because I think it's the best one on this list.
I honestly would too. We'll see what else gets up, if anything else kind of reaches up to Wonder Woman levels, but we'll see. Oh no, now let's talk Joss Whedon's Justice League. It is shorter than the other Justice League, which we'll get into a little bit. But one, we get weird Superman face.
And CGI.
Horrible CGI. This is where it's like people talk about the Marvel CGI. This is the freaking Justice League. This is the Justice League. This should be your top. This is a movie you should be putting all your money into. You should be making sure the script is spot on perfect, but it's not. It is the characters don't work. Wonder Woman is made to seem extremely weak in this one here. She's way too cut up with Steve Trevor.
Yes.
What you mean? It's like we're closer to modern times, and she still hasn't gotten over it. I don't buy that. Not for a character like Wonder Woman. Not for the character that we were presented with. Yes, she loves Steve Trevor. Yes, it was a great romance. But do I think that it would do this to her?
No.
Do I think like?
Well, I guess technically he was the first man she was ever with, so it was her first love.
Hey, Rockwell.
So I guess it would. So I guess it would stick with her a little bit, but I don't think she'd be
But not to the point.
unprofessional about it.
It's her entire. It's her arc. That's her entire arc.
Yeah.
We get Ezra Miller come into the Flash, and we get what starts to be the and we'll get some more of this in the other one, the nightmare world that that was so not well done. We got another
awful
dud
movie.
here.
Awful. It's a dud.
It's a dud. Let's talk about something a little more fun. Let's get on a more upbeat one. Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Jason Momoa. He's definitely a kind of a cool bro. He's definitely a bro. I liked this film. I'm going to say something a lot of people are going to hate. I thought Amber Heard was fantastic as in the role. But whether you like her or not, it doesn't matter. She looked the role, and she played the role. There's a lot of great action sequences there. Like, is it like Grease where they did that like big like action sequence? You wanted to go on. Yeah, that was fantastic. I loved like kind of getting like glimpses of the trench, which are massively important characters in the comic as well. And I know that if you would have done like that, they did want to do a trench movie at one point, which would have been a horror film, like straight out in a horror film. Fight Club, I would agree with that actually. But this is one that I actually liked, so I wouldn't put it at super tier, but this would be high up there. I think it's a really good film.
I think I would put it more powerful down.
Definitely,
because I don't really like Jason Momoa as Aquaman that much, but I think if you go by modern take, I think it works perfectly.
Now, I did forget one movie here. I'm going to apologize, which would have been Birds of Prey.
So I thought you did.
Yeah, so I will apologize for that, but I can't do anything about like.
I'll tell you right now, guys, that would have been a dud.
I would have put it in. It's okay, like it just because there was parts of it that I thought were okay, but just okay, and probably I would have kept it in there just because of Margot Robbie. But Suicide Squad was just too bad. At least there's no light beam of light. Like at least we get Black Mask, right? We get Black Mask. But
yeah, Joe, I like Black Mask. It's one of my favorite characters. In the comics.
Oh, I love Black Mask. You don't like Aquaman, Sean? Actually, I liked Aquaman, but I understand. Actually, if somebody told me that they had everybody got different opinions, right? But I do think that this was one of the better ones. I think James Wan did a good job bringing this world to life, and that's the thing. That's like when Thor came out. Thor was not at the time one of my favorite characters, but the way they just put the world to life, like put it out, was fantastic. Shazam.
I really liked it. The problem is, I think at this point, with most superhero movies, it's something you said, because when they start, they kind of have the same kind of beginning in a way. Yeah. You have to kind of judge them by later on in the movie. I really liked it. What I think took away from it, and I haven't seen the second one yet, what I think takes away is when he's got all the team, and it kind of takes away the idea of him being the main, near the end, in my view.
Well, yeah, it is a market. Now,
I liked it.
It doesn't make sense for me. Like, and I love this film. I think it's a lot of fun. I think Zachary Levi is perfectly cast in this one. Is that we have a film and where for almost the entire day of this film, Malcolm, like we got him learning to become Shazam, right? Like he's doing he's doing like the YouTube stuff.
And they become it instantly.
Instantly, they know how to use their powers. Just like instantly. Like, what the hell?
Stupid.
But
it's funny.
I would say it's a plane. Like it's
it's definitely a plane.
But it's not like
that's number 2, isn't it? Or is that the
No, we're at the first.
Is that the
Oh wait, maybe that's because that's got the girl there. There's the first one right there. Thank you. And we're at the Christmas movie. Everybody's favorite Christmas present. Wonder Woman 1984.
Dud. Nothing more needs to be said. Just dud.
It has to like. Yeah, I gotta give a
I
case.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Hen's got taste.
I'm gonna put it in. Don't worry, I am gonna put it in. We get Linda Carter. I'm not gonna lie, and I like that. And
That's the best part.
And we get like, yeah. I mean, it is not a good movie. I'm not gonna lie.
The only good thing was Pedro Pascal.
And it's not Pedro Pascal's first time in a Wonder Woman thing. And so, for those who don't know, Wonder Woman was initially going to be like a TV series in the 2000s, and they had Adrienne Palicki from Supernatural. She was going to be playing Wonder Woman, and the romantic interest was Pedro Pascal.
Wow.
He was destined to be in Wonder Woman. And next up, we are going to talk about oh man, we're going there. We're there, man. We're there. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I'm going to be honest right now. Right, I have not bothered to put that on because it's just so long. I ain't got time. Now I need to watch it because I need to watch it in parts. But I'm just like, how much of the movie is that much different? Now, I know it's like 4 hours. So there's a lot of different footage, obviously. But I just can't. I just can't put it on. I can't stand the 4 hour cut of a movie that disappointed me, even if it is better.
Here's the thing: the special effects were better in this film. Cyborg's storyline was better in this film. Martian Manhunter, spoiler alert, makes absolutely zero sense in this movie. The scene with Martian Manhunter and Lois, stupid. The nightmare idea, the idea of having this world where Darkseid's going to come in and Batman's going to die, and Batman's going to sleep with Lois, and Lois is going to have Batman's kid, and that's going to be the second Batman. I'm sorry, that really spoiled like finding what he was going to do, or like was kind of like finding out, like watching Firefly and then finding out what he was going to do afterwards.
Yeah,
it ruins it for you. But it's 4 hours long. I hate Josh Snyder's Justice League. I do. I really don't like it. I think it's a horrible like slog of a film. But I will tell you this right now: if somebody puts a gun to my head and says, "Put on the Justice League and watch it," I'm not putting on Zack Snyder's Justice. I'm not taking 4 hours of my life. Again, I seen it once. It was okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Because I haven't seen it, obviously, so I don't really know. But I'd put it as okay because anything's got to be better than the other one.
And I mean, like, by putting that okay, I will do it. But I will say this right now: I'm being extremely generous to this film. Extremely generous to this film. There are sequences in this that are very good, but it is a slog of a movie. And
if it's that bad, put it in dud.
No. I mean, like there is stuff in here that I think like puts it above. Like I because it is still better than Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Okay.
But it's not. And for me, it is. It's if there is a space between dud and it's okay, that it would be there. Like because I just got to be honest. The Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
Not saying it.
Yeah, I loved it. Okay, so this is one I really enjoyed. One, I'm going to be honest. I like James Gunn stuff. I liked him since Romeo and Juliet. This is his first film. Yeah, Batman's actually done well done in the Justice League. That's actually true. Much better than in Joss Whedon's. But it's cool. I mean, the opening is hilarious. You would like it, Malcolm, I think. We get Doctor Who in it. Peter Capaldi's fantastic in the movie. Starro. And DC finally starts to do something that Marvel was doing extremely well. They have a villain that you kind of feel bad for. And here we also get the introduction of Peacemaker. And Peacemaker would be a character that I would love. I remember Peacemaker from like the comics when it was more of a like people are like, why wasn't Peacemaker more serious? Like, have you have you read what Peacemaker's concept Peacemaker is? There will be peace, even if I have to kill everybody to get it. John Cena, like
He's
already
great in the role.
better than The Rock, man. He's a better actor than The Rock. So I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna defer to my better half since you haven't seen it. Hind,
Yeah,
The Suicide Squad.
1 or 2.
Oh no, number 1 is a dud, man. the one with John Cena.
I think it's good. That's it.
She wants to put it good. Okay, well, I'm gonna defer to my better half, and I'm gonna put it in. It's a plane. I would put it in more powerful than, but it's not quite as good as Aquaman. So she's right.
No, and Wakanda Forever has more impact than that one.
Yeah, but we're talking about like different like lists now. Like we're doing a DC only list.
Oh, you're doing it. Fine. Yeah, more is enough.
One of the somebody's booing you in.
Oh well.
Everybody's got their own opinion. It's okay, my guy, man. Now after that one, we have what do we got next? Let's find out. Black Adam.
To be honest with you, there is no DC movie that goes beyond good.
We put like Wonder Woman in super tier. Thank you very much. We have Wonder Woman. Have you seen Black Adam yet?
No.
Don't. Like here's this. I'm like it's very very often. Not very often. I'm gonna like legitimately tell somebody like, okay, no, watch a movie. It's gonna be a great experience. Or like, form your own opinion. Like, nope. No. One, this is a movie that's driven by an actor's ego and ruined by it.
Yeah.
You have characters here, Justice Society characters. You have Dr. Fate, one of my favorite like Justice Society characters, played by Pierce freaking Brosnan. This should be an epic moment. You're lucky, Sean. This should be an epic moment. This should be one of these like things. Oh, look, Dr. Fate's here. Hawkman's here. You know, like pretty cool, right? No, they're all like wasted in this utter farce of a film that just doesn't know how to tonally take itself, that tries to put a little of a twist in it that everybody knows, even if you haven't read the comic, because it's just so it is so badly done. I'm sorry, Dwayne Johnson. Maybe I'd play Dwayne Johnson in a lot of his films. He cannot play Black Adam.
No.
The structure of the film is, imagine, if you will, a director that watches a Zack Snyder film and says this, are you ready for this, Malcolm? Man, not enough slow motion action scenes. So absolutely every action scene in Black Adam is a slow motion action scene. Imagine like I'm serious, like slow motion. Like
surely that ruins it.
Yes, it does. I mean, like, because there's no like actual like good, well done fight sequences. There's no And I'm going to ruin something for people because I don't want people to watch this. Dr. Fate dies. Bam. No more Dr. Fate. Don't expect to see him in any more of the other films. Dr. Fate's gone. He's dead. He dies. Like he does a selfless thing.
Was it fight?
Like he does it so that Black Adam, gets enough time to come and fight the bad guy. I can't remember who's the bad guy in Black Adam again. Hint. What's his name? I can't remember right now. How bad this movie is. Let me just say, I got to remember who's the bad guy in Black Adam. I don't fucking remember. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to swear. But this like rare, man. It's rare for me to hate something like this bad. Sabek. His name is Sabek. You know, you're that famous character. And get this.
Yeah.
So, The Rock decided that Black Adam isn't actually Shazam's, like, they're not actually enemies, or there's no
Yeah.
connection. So The Rock refused to do a cameo in any of the Shazam films, right? He didn't want
Yeah.
anything to do with Shazam. He said no. The only person able to take on Black Adam is Superman.
Because he's a moron.
Because he's an egotistical asshole. That's why. I'm going to be honest there. Because of his ego. Oh no, only Superman can take on my hero. And what happens? Well, basically, this is the time restructuring is starting to happen. Warner has been sold. They're getting ready to the reshift to start the universe. So what does The Rock do? He has the same agent as Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill moved on.
Right.
He hasn't done Superman for a while. As far as he knows, Superman's is out of his thing. He's doing The Witcher. He's doing whatever. He's just
Yeah.
The Witcher. So he goes behind people's backs and goes out and gets Henry Cavill for this cameo. And it was the worst possible thing that he could do. Because meanwhile, you've got Gunn and Safran starting a new universe and not wanting to do this to an actor because he's not going to be playing Superman again. But because this egotistical jerk decides that he's going to go behind people's backs and he's bigger than the studio, he's going to put he's going to put Cavill in there no matter what, even though he's not supposed to be in there. It sets Cavill up to says, "Oh, don't worry, man. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the center of the DC universe. Just we're going to have a Superman Black Adam movie." He pimps it up to him. Henry Cavill goes on Twitter, "Guess I'm back as Superman." So it puts everybody else in the place of we're going a little bit different.
Wow.
Rebooting a universe. Imagine being Gunn and having to do that. That sucks.
It does suck.
It's a place you should never be put in. It's a place you should never be. And maybe that soured me more in the movie, knowing some of that stuff going in. But the movie was boring. The movie was boring. It was the worst experience that I had watching a film last year. Was it last year or this year that we watched that one? Yeah, it was 2022. It was I didn't enjoy it at all. It wasn't interesting. I wish I had something good to say about it. I don't have anything good to say about it. Even take all that stuff aside, say Henry Cavill's scene isn't in there at the end. And Henry Cavill isn't made to feel. I think James Gunn will bring Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot and all them back later on for a Crisis on Infinite Earths film. I think that's what's going to happen eventually. But because of the sour taste of all this, and because of the whole what he's done, he's rawed up a hornet's nest again, and which has caused a lot of toxicity online, unfortunately. Everybody's got their own thoughts. You can love Cavill; it has nothing to do with that. But I think The Rock did Cavill dirty.
Yeah. Well, as The Rock would say, it doesn't matter what you've got to say or whatever it was he used to say.
Apparently, it mattered enough that he said, I'm not doing no more Fast and Furious. I'm done with that. I'm Black Adam now."
And they jumped straight back in.
Gunn had nothing to do with Black Adam. There's the thing. And he shouldn't have had to do anything. He shouldn't have had to do, Gunn and Safran should not have had anything to come in. But because The Rock decided to do that, when Gunn and Safran make their announcements, it makes Gunn look bad. And oh, look at Gunn firing Cavill. He didn't fire Cavill. Cavill wasn't back. He wasn't supposed to.
Well, what you got to remember, what people don't forget is when these type of things happen, always a lot of people blame the new management and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
without realizing,
he hasn't done anything yet. People say, "Well, look how James Gunn ruined the Flash." I'm sorry, no. What really has he done for them? Nothing. It's not his movie. His movie doesn't start to Superman Legacy. That's when he starts. No. So anybody wants to blame James Gunn for something, you got to wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Superman Legacy. If you don't like Superman Legacy, there you go. Then you can do it. Okay. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, the sequel.
I liked it. I liked Helen Mirren in it. I liked Lucy Liu in it. I thought it was all right. I would probably put it in. It's a play.
I'll go with it because I haven't seen it. This is only on this list I haven't seen. And what do we got left here? Oh yeah, we got two. One TV show, and and one more film. We're going to slightly disagree on this one. I know we are, which is okay. But everything that you're going to complain about, I agree with.
Yeah, well, he donated, didn't he? He donated money to the Actors Fund and that, because you got to remember with Dwayne Johnson, it's all about outside appearance. He posts pictures up of him with his kids and everything, because that's what Hollywood people are like, when they're slimy. They're all about what you say.
Yeah, and it may be maybe he's but I think this he may be better, like a better person than, but this I think was somebody whose ego just got out of control.
Yeah.
And hopefully if anything, this humbles him, so that he and we've been there. Like I've been there. I'm not a perfect person. I'm somebody. Trust me. If there's somebody that has an ego that's kind of out of control in my youth, I get it. But we hopefully get that space where that humbles us. So I'm gonna just err on the side of hopefully he does better in the future. But he ran with his tail between his legs back to Fast and Furious. Faster you can blink. The Flash. I'm gonna let you talk on this one because I talked a lot on this one.
All right, The Flash, I'm going to be honest with you. I went to the cinema and saw it. So it was, and not too long ago either. So it starts off, I thought it was going to be great when it first started, except for the bad CGI babies and all that stuff. But I was like, you know what, I can get into this. This is quite fun. It looks like it's going to be really, humorous. Then it gets to around, I would say, the middle, when you've got, the other version of him and that, from where he's gone thingy. And because I don't want to spoil it too much, and you get the whole Michael Keaton stuff and that, and then it just slowly started feeling really flat and boring. I was sitting there near the end of the movie, right? I kid you not, sitting there in the movie, looking at my watch, thinking, "Oh, I need a wee," right? When's it going to end? Especially that ending with like 20 minutes of it just going round and round and round and round. It was obvious what the whole ending was going to be in the first hour.
I'd say, for me, there's a lot of stuff that I liked about this movie. I'm on the other end. I think as problematic as Ezra Miller is, and let's not mince words, he is. I don't think he should come back as the Flash. I'm sorry. He's a freaking fantastic actor. Damn it. He does both Flash roles, and that's really good, to the point where it does seem like there's two actors playing two different roles. Solid with that. Michael Keaton comes back, plays the hits.
It should have been over in the Flash.
I
agree, Glenn.
Sasha Kelly is absolutely stunning, and she does a good job as Supergirl. I would love to see more Sasha Kelly. The CGI, is horrible. The baby thing is horrible. The last act in this film, you're 100% correct. It is slow. It is plotting. It is boring. I've seen it before. It was called Doctor Strange, but it was done better. Because Doctor Strange would come in and out. But this went on forever. And I wasn't quite sure what villain am I looking at. Is this Black Flash? Is this Savitar? I think it's Savitar, but I'm not quite sure, because the villain, who was obvious, isn't really wasn't well thought out. It was but I think anybody I'm going to get Savitar, right? And people that don't know the Flash aren't going to know. I'm going to let me help you guys out. Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne killed his mom. He went back in time and killed Barry's mom. That's what happened. That's not explained to you in the movie, and it should be, because there's not another Flash movie coming. They're starting another DC universe. So having an open up mysterious person kill his mother made no sense.
It's really weird because there's a point in this movie, if you didn't know the comics, where you'd be like, did the dad actually do it? Because of how, it's very dodgy, he seems, just from the thing at times. You're like, did he do it? I mean, but if you've read the comics, obviously almost immediately he didn't, all right? Because you know what happened. But people that didn't might go, Oh, was that one of those kind of like things where you find out the dad's going to be a villain in the next one? Do you get what I mean? So
Yeah.
I thought that's a bit irresponsible. And the other irresponsible thing was when he breaks his tooth out, he puts super glue on his tooth and puts it back in his mouth, and that can poison you and kill you.
Yeah, like let's not show that to kids, please. Here's
Oh.
another thing. I'm going to say this, and it's going to be controversial. I have no problem with how they ended with the Batman. No issue with that. I mean, like I thought it was funny. I knew that we know there's not going to be another film, so yeah, why not bring George Clooney in for a cameo? It's fun. Like who cares? Like people say, what about like? But doesn't Ben Affleck get his arc? He had his arc finished. He had his arc finished at the beginning of the film. This was just a little comedic touch to put in at the end of it, just for fun. Because you know it's not going anywhere. There's not going to be another Flash. Like if there is, it's going to be a completely different person, completely different universe, completely different story. So it's a throwaway joke, is all it is, and it's all it's ever meant to be. For me, this is a middle of the road movie. It is. I'm going to put it. I'll say it's okay. I almost want to put it in It's a Plane because there are aspects of this that I think are extremely good. Michael Keaton is good. Sasha Calle is amazing. I wanted to see so much more of her. I felt a little bit. I felt a little bit gypped that we don't get to see her because she is so good, and it's like she's sexy as hell too. Like, which always kind of freaked me out when I go online and people be like, "Oh, I don't like her. She has short hair. She must look like a guy." You ever date? Like everybody doesn't have long hair.
That's true.
We'll put it in. It's okay.
Okay.
It's between It's Okay and It's a Plane, so it's almost in between there. And we finish off with something that I do like a lot, and I'll go first on this one, Malcolm, and it is Peacemaker. I thought Peacemaker was a fantastic show. I loved all the characters in this. I really liked the dad, not as like the dad, but I love that actor, and I thought he did a great job. John Cena is so good in this. The twist at the end of the season. I love the twist at the end of the season. I'm very interested in seeing where this goes. It made me like I liked Viola Davis.
Yeah.
This made me really, really, really kind of invest in her character. So there's an Amanda Waller series coming. I'm invested because I know it's Viola Davis. She's the only carryover. Her in the Peacemaker series. That's the only carryover to the new universe, and I get why. Because they've really well casted these characters, and they started something that can kind of cross over. I know they're going to have to change some things because the ending Peacemaker, right? But Viola Davis is like Nick Fury. I love Peacemaker. Like this is high up for me. What about you?
I haven't seen it because I haven't seen the Suicide Squad, have I?
Oh, God, you got to see this, man. It's really good. Because like the thing is like. I can't say much, but the Peacemaker you got to watch Suicide Squad first because the ending of the Suicide Squad is like sets up Peacemaker.
I've seen trailers and that of the show, and it looks really funny, but I wanted to kind of watch it in,
He's got an eagle, American Eagle, as a pet, which is so cool. And he's got like all these different, like his dad makes his helmets for him. So he's got all these different helmets. So he's got to go into his area, like his cave, his Peacemaker type of like area where he's like got to decide, do I use the laser beam helmet or do I use the helmet that knocks people out? I thought it was really, really good. I just enjoyed it. I won't put it super tier.
Well, some people might want to watch the Suicide Squad first. You don't, like you said, you don't have to, but I want to. So.
Yeah, no, I think you should. I mean, I really do think you should because the setup is there. I'm going to put it in more powerful then.
Sure.
Let me know if we'll come back on it in a future episode.
Sure.
Actually, and with that, let's actually do a little bit of comic talk. Because we both started at this video talking about the fact that we love comics too. Like we're not just people that watch the film, actually read the comics. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, and I want to get your thoughts on it. All right. So we're going to go with DC first, and this is sort of a versus. and it is New 52 versus Rebirth.
That's hard.
For some people, it wouldn't be, but for me, it is.
I really love the Rebirth. I really do. But at the same time, New 52 had such great storylines and had such great, artwork. I'm going to go Rebirth.
I am going to shock you. I'm going to go with New 52. No, I do love Rebirth. Like, when Rebirth starts, when Wally comes back and he's going in and nobody's like kind of seeing him, remember, and Barry remembers him, and he has this like moment where like, thank you, somebody, you remember me, I exist, you acknowledge me. He's acknowledged. It is a brilliant sequence. But here's the thing, I came back in with Flashpoint. There is so much good. Scott Snyder's Batman, just an amazing run. Peter J. Tomasi's work during Rebirth. Jeff Lemire on Animal Man, like Swamp Thing stuff.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff. Justice League Dark started in there. I do think like maybe Justice League Dark's a little bit stronger with Rebirth though. But the fact that we got Justice League Dark and in there's a lot of good stuff there. I almost go over to your side, but there's just enough with New 52 that I just really so I'll take on the New 52 side.
Okay.
That one there, which brings us to my next question right here.
Okay.
And all right. First, have you ever read the character Nemesis? It's an Image comic, I think it's Image.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Don't. Okay. Well, now we move on. It's a pretty bad storyline, guys. 4 issues. You can.
I think the Flash was from like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of work done. It was like a lot of stuff redone, like a lot of reshoots on the Flash.
Just because Alan's saying the reboot was in the works and thing, and Ezra Miller's, I swear it was like 2-3 years ago that film was made. Because it was held back, wasn't it, for quite a while?
Yeah, like they did a lot of reshoots on that film. There was a lot of subjects.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's what we're here for. But I would say, like, yeah. Can you imagine this? Like, because 52, there's a whole like generation that have a Superman that was born, had adventures, and died.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
For a character. Like, how rare is that?
That is very rare.
Like Ultimate Spider-Man, right? And even that got
retconned. Yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man. But that was brilliant, that.
Why did they retcon that, though? Like, I mean, I'm kind of glad they did, though.
I remember following that Ultimate Spider-Man all the way through and being like, this is phenomenal. And then being like, oh.
But I was a big fan. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I did like a lot of the Ultimate Universe. I didn't like the way it ended. I mean, it was when.
What's this about? Panel doesn't hang out with chat much, huh?
Oh, you don't. You are obviously new here. We do actually. We're one of the people that actually do talk to the chat. Yeah, check out some of the videos. That's kind of what I'm known for. Actually, that's what I'm known for. I know for talking to my chat. It's just I got ranty when it came to this one. But I would say if you could collect 3 characters, 3 comics. Okay. What do you go with? Like just 3?
What, 3, like when you say 3 characters, do you mean like every single thing they've been in?
Nope. You get to pick 3 comics. So if it's Batman and you say Batman, that doesn't mean Detective Comics.
Okay. Bloodshot.
Oh, really?
Bloodshot.
Okay.
There you go. Bloodshot. Punisher, because I've always loved the Punisher.
Which one?
The Punisher Max one.
Okay. Excellent choice, by the way.
And the third one would be. Ooh. I'm trying to not be obvious. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be. There's somebody pick from. You know what? I will be obvious. I'll say Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles.
Which Mirage or IDW?
IDW.
Actually, so it can go over.
And if I had a fourth one, it would have been Usagi.
Saki Jimbo. I met Stan Saki. Really nice guy.
He was.
At my first convention, actually.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was him and Sergio Jonas were sitting right next to each other. Both of them are like incredibly generous people.
What about yours? What would yours be?
Swamp Thing. Because I'm a massive Swamp Thing fan. And Spider-Man, I guess I'd go with Amazing. I want to start with the earlier stuff because but when it gets into it gets a little like tepid here and there, especially the dance.
Okay, Matty.
Oh, Matt, have a great night, man. X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, to be precise. But we'll go on over because it's going to be called something else later on.
Yeah.
Because I love the Hickman era of X-Men. I love Chris Claremont.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going up between two characters. So I'm going to go with Hellblazer, I think, but the Authority is like really big up there too. But I'm a big fan of that character. I'm also there's God, I think it's Batman, but Batman just has too many titles. Because I'll be reading one comic like continued in Detective Comics.
That's like Zenoscope stuff.
Yeah, like oh God, yeah. But why didn't I say Sandman? Sandman would be my next choice, actually. Sandman. My fourth one's gonna be Sandman then. Because you got a nice complete story there, and then I'll come back and read those Sandman alternates later on. But I had a question before this one, and I actually forgot what it is. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it was. I'm like, I have so many other I'm like thinking damn, why did I say Conan? I think looking at my Conan.
Exactly, that's what I'm like. You look at things, you go, ah.
Yeah, like I've got a couple art pieces from Neil Adams over there, and I'm looking at my Conan one right now. I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I think that? Because I love Conan, especially Savage Sword, man.
Yeah,
Savage Sword is so good.
It's like I wanted to say. I think I'm saying it right. Arias from Grim Tales of Terror.
Oh yeah,
I loved that series before they took her out of it completely, almost.
That's like I thought about Hex Slash. Like now it's because I really love that comic.
I really want to get that so I can read it.
Have you not read any of it?
Never read it.
Oh, you'll like it. The later stuff isn't as good. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, but there's some neat crossovers, by the way. Like crossover with Herbert West from Reanimator, crossover with Chucky.
That's what got me into it. That's what got me into wanting to do it because I thought it looked just so exciting.
The best though is when you do like almost an Archie comic strip, which has a serial killer on it.
Like that's another series. That's another comic series I like, Archie.
Do you like the new Archie? You ever did the comics yourself?
Are you talking about the ones that had like Sabrina in and that?
Yeah, like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and the one like Afterlife with Archie. And
I thought they were all right. I prefer the older one because it feels more. I don't know. The newer one just doesn't feel like it's the same bait. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Taylor Swift is going to be Dazzler. I heard that too, actually, which makes sense. I'm good. I'm down with that casting. What's comical, Alan, is that when Alan's actually right, Sean. That's a strong rumor that Taylor Swift is going to be Dazzler. which makes sense because it's modern day, right? But with the Dazzler
Yeah.
character initially was not going to look like you see Dazzler look now. She's a blonde, but she was a disco character, right?
Yeah.
Initially, she was really meant to be a disco character. They were going to do a whole Dazzler movie. It was going to be going to do Diana Ross. Very, very different Dazzler, right? So they even had this girl, like there's a Dazzler like record and everything as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only be a cameo shot. And I can see her doing it, like to get into the universe type thing if she ever wants to like make a movie in the future.
That'd be amazing.
But like she would definitely she'll definitely do it. But they'll just like shoot her under schedule or something like that because it's only gonna be small. But no, like Dazzler was initially going to be a Diana Ross type character. So it was going to be like super like disco.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a video on someday.
Sounds good.
Because that's actually pretty fascinating what they were going to do with the character Dazzler and how it eventually became something completely different. Man, I was going to say I forgot what I was going to say.
Favorite comic publisher.
Who's your favorite comic publisher?
What's that?
Is it Penthouse Comics?
What, mine one?
Yeah, what is it?
For a long time, it was Cinescope because I really enjoyed Robin Hood and Grim Tales of Terror and Grim Fairy Tales.
Ask away.
Sure, you can ask a question.
Grimm's Fairy Tales I really loved. I liked the more of. I wasn't as big like when it comes to like the mythology behind Grimm's Fairy Tales. It was okay, but I was more along like the stories. Oh, you mean Severance? Are you talking about the horror film?
You're talking about the Danny Dyer film.
I love Danny Dyer. I'm an EastEnders guy. Did you watch the recent like miniseries? The one that I mentioned. Yeah. It was good, wasn't it? I thought it was pretty good.
It was really good. It was awesome.
Apple TV show. Oh, no, I haven't seen Severance yet. I've seen the first episode. My cousin watched it and loved it. So I've got to finish it. So
I ain't seen it either. I haven't even got Apple TV. So.
Well, this here's a Mac. I live and die by my MacBook.
We will. I'll look for it.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be really, really good. My cousin loved it, and he's really picky when it comes to stuff like this.
Apple TV is $5. Well, I'm in England.
£5.
I don't think it's £5. I think it's like $6.99 here. I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You want to save yourself some money? So you go out, you buy yourself a MacBook, a brand new MacBook. So when you buy yourself a brand new MacBook, you get free Apple TV with it for like 6 months. Perfect.
Wow.
Nice. There you go.
That's incredible. When I got my iPhone, I'd 6 months free.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't watch anything because I just didn't have the time.
Well, I had. Speaking of streaming and all this stuff, right? Like,
yeah.
Remember Quibi?
Yeah, I remember Quibi. The short one, I love those. 50 States of Fire.
Yeah, that was cool. And did you watch the one with the guy, where the girl picks up this guy? And it was actually pretty good. It was put together.
Is that the Stalker one?
Yeah.
Is that the Stalker one?
It's what's his name? The guy from
the guy from Amazing Spider-Man 2. They played Little Green Goblin guy. Yeah, I remember.
And he's like,
I can't remember his name, but
basically gets in the car. He lets her know that he's going to kill her, and it was just so tense, so well done,
so fun. I loved it. And why did they stop doing that?
It came at the exact wrong time. So it created basically a streaming service for on the go. So basically, if you're on the bus, if you're in your cab, if you're in between.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What happened at that
the 5 minutes.
What happened at that time? Everybody was sent home and couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what killed him. I did too. I actually really like Quibi. And there was a show
welcome back.
with what's his name? Well, written by the guy Dan Harmon with the doll. Like,
Yeah.
she finds out like
Dummy.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Masterpiece. I tell you, that show, one of the most heartbreaking moments in that show is where she takes the doll into the shop to get it fixed, and the guy goes, "It's old. It doesn't need to be fixed. It's useless," right? And you could see in that moment, it was like what every woman feels when they get to a certain age, you know.
Yeah.
Am I useless? Am I this? And that we treat people. I thought it was perfect. And since it's based on a true story as well, it made it even more amazing.
What I would love to see is what one other things that helped kill Quibi, unfortunately, was that initially you could only watch it like this, right? Like in this form. You couldn't turn it, and you couldn't put it onto the TV. You couldn't like cast it. So near the end of Quibi, it was already dead by this point. They decided like you're going to be able to turn it, and you're going to cast it to your TV. But by that point, it was too late.
It's too late.
It was some things that they should have thought of it before, but it was just came out at a really bad time. I can't believe I thought about Quibi now, but I had to kind of put that in there. Do you know when playing Gun was in talks to a Howard the Duck movie? I heard about that. I know he's a massive Howard the Duck fan, and he put him into Guardians for that reason. I'm also a massive Howard the Duck fan. I used to read the Steve Gerber comic and the magazine when I was a kid. My favorite issue of Howard the Duck was when he was fighting a villain, I kid you not, named Status Quo, which is perfect because Howard Duck is a super like political type of comic book.
I love the movie.
Oh yeah, which is the movie. I like movies, you know, it is what it is. But the Howard the Duck, though, as a character, was not supposed to live. Howard the Duck started out in Adventures in Fear when Man-Thing was in it, and the character of Howard the Duck dies in the second issue. But people liked him enough that he was brought back. But initially, Howard the Duck was supposed to die and only be a 2-appearance character. Exploitation TV.
True. Yeah.
Another one arriving at the wrong time. For those who don't know, Exploitation TV, and Malcolm knows this one, is Vinegar Syndrome's like streaming service.
Which sucks because if you buy the old Blu-rays, it advertises it on them still. So you go, oh, it's their streaming thing, and then you go, where is it? You know what I mean? So it kind of sucks. And I think personally, Vinegar Syndrome, if Tubi didn't have most of the titles, right, in their terrible quality, I mean, some of them are good quality, but some of them are terrible, right? Vinegar Syndrome, but I do think one of the reasons that's probably not there is it would probably hurt their business more because they probably won't sell as much.
Here's the thing too, like me and Indy are two of the people that had. Did you have Exploitation TV too, by the way? Or yeah, okay. We're probably three of the people that had it. Like most people, it wasn't advertised well at the time. So unless you already knew about Vinegar Syndrome, and Vinegar Syndrome was not the company that is now. Be careful with Part Bay because, like, just in all honesty, malware, man, lots of malware. So private trackers are.
I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about my cousin, right? He thought he was going to get a Britney Spears concert. This was many years ago, you know, before proper, you know, full-on security, but we have now with the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because so he opens up the folder and it's supposed to be a concert, you know, like of her dancing around and that because he had a real thing for her back then. He puts it on and there's this old guy, apparently, according to him, stroking this girl's head.
Oh, don't go any further.
Right.
I know where you're going.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And it was like, what the, you know, he said he deleted it immediately, but he was like terrified. And I said to him, we got to remember, it's back when all that stuff happened. People get away with that stuff, you know. Now, that stuff is almost scanned completely with your fire stuff. You know, you have a virus thing to find these bits. That's how comes people get warned.
Yeah, like for me,
you know,
like I'm calling the FBI. Like that's something like that. But
he did call the police. He did call the police to talk to him about it and report it. But he said he deleted shut off his computer because he was terrified. But he showed them the listing thing.
Perfect.
No, but at the same time, he got fined at the same time because he downloaded illegally. So
TV has about 60% of like vinegar cinnamon good quality. Yeah, I mean, like there's definitely stuff out there. I liked exploitation TV. I knew it wasn't going to last. Trauma. You're a huge Trauma fan. I got to meet Lloyd and some of the Trauma guys in Montreal, and at that time, I bought the most Trauma films that anybody ever did at a convention at one time. Lloyd told me actually. I was talking to him and like I was talking to him more because they were talking about some of his daughter and that. Yeah, I bought a massive, like it got to the point, Malcolm, that when I would go over to the Trauma table, the guys over there would get a chair for Hind. They're like, sit down. You're gonna be a while. And it's true, I was. So I got a bunch of stuff here, like actually autographed by Lloyd Kaufman. And I bought a movie for my dad, and it was like one that Trauma produced, but they didn't have anything really to do it. But it was a Paul Nash one. My dad's a huge Paul Nash fan, and like he said, "Oh, sorry, can you sign this for my dad?" I was like, "We really didn't have anything to do this one." I said, "Yeah, I know, it's just for my dad." So Lloyd had this kind of like grin on his face, and I would not know why till a little later because I didn't read the things till later, right? So I get it home, and I go to my dad's.
Yeah.
Give it to my dad, and like Dad will know this because Dad's here in the chat. So autographed, and I'm not forgetting the words wrong here, Dad. Like to Dick Glenn or Terrence Dad, something like that, from Aaron's gay lover Lloyd.
Brilliant.
I love Lloyd Kaufman, man. Lloyd Kaufman. It was fantastic. He's an awesome dude.
Here's a question for you. How many movies have you bought in one day? What's the most you've bought in one day?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, there has been days like when I was collecting, like majorly collecting when I was in Canada, that I bought. No, I mean, it's like it would probably, like, even for you, it'd probably be scary, man. Like that's
I think
like,
so.
well, not for you. No, actually, probably not for you because I know how much you buy. But very similar, say, to something like you on a really good day. There's been times like that. But for me, I'm a go. I'll buy a bunch. I'll rethink, and then I'll come back again. So, like at conventions, for instance, I'll go and I'll buy a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm done, and then I'll like make my way around. And you definitely do the convention circuit if you get the chance, and then make your way around again. I make my way around. I check out is there other stuff that I want to buy, but I usually I load up. So, but I always say when it comes to something like that, if there's a sale coming up, if you're going on vacation somewhere, there's gonna be like movie stores or something stuff you want to get or comics, whatever you want to pick up, stuff like that. Then just save up, start saving up for the time. When we went to London, I knew I'm a massive fan of England and I love London, and I'm a massive fan of like companies like Arrow Video and 88 Films and companies like that.
And Eureka,
exactly. And I went there at a time when I didn't know at the time though. There was going to be a big sale, and I'd saved up for about 6 months. So we got the trip. We go to Fop and Covent Gardens, and get there and down. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to buy all Arrow releases. I'm only going to buy Arrow while I'm here. Arrow stuff, Arrow. I walk downstairs, 88 film sale, and it was earlier into the releasing of the Slasher Classics collection, and I was like, I'm going to buy so many Slasher classics. And so it changed everything. I go upstairs and the guy's just putting out this rack, and it is Shameless Screen Entertainment rack. And I think it was like £3 for a release, which is bloody brilliant. And then I'm buying a bunch of Shameless Screen Entertainment stuff, hoping I'm going to get across the border because it's Shameless Screen Entertainment.
6 is a good number.
That's a nice number.
That's a good number. I'm impressed with that.
I won't
say my number.
Do you know your number?
Yeah, most I bought in one day is 2,823.
That mine is not that big, but the most I bought in one day would have been about a collection, about somebody's collection, and yeah, like it was like Walking Dead. It was like big. It had a big set of like Harry Potter stuff, the giant set of that. Uh, there was it was a lot of stuff, and it was over a couple days.
Well, to be fair, I went to multiple places that day, and a lot were like, I mean, the DVDs were like 20p each at the time, and so it just ended up being one of those things. I just went, yep, 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 yep. Big stack came in, yeah, I'll have them, you know, stuff like that. You know, if I'm in my dad's car, right, you know, kind of thing.
No,
I remember I used to go to Half Price Books with my wife, and I'd walk around in there for like probably an hour, looking at every single case, every single disc in clearance, in the normal sale. I go, I want this. Oh, look, there it is.
yeah. Why has this not got a good Blu-ray release?
Yeah,
This was
sad,
the
isn't it?
horror box set. Like, if you want basically, if you want to consider yourself in the DVD days, you want to consider yourself like a real horror movie collector. This was one of the key pieces you had to have in your collection.
Yeah,
And still, like, it is
they're
a
the,
fantastic this very day.
they're the best times in day when you get, you know, really good prices like that. Oi!
I had lost my
That was
edition of this, and we were in Montreal, and it was the day that we were leaving, and we found this like this store that had this and a bunch of other films in there. Like, and we were just went through really quickly. We grabbed this one and grabbed a couple others. I gotta get this back in. That's the hard thing, but this one's getting it back in because it has these snap cases, which are actually.
Alan says, May2December, you and Aaron Payne should invent a cult of cinema, cult of comics graphic novel. That'd be pretty good.
Well, we'd have to draw. That's the thing. I haven't drawn since art school, so just found that out there.
I did make this. May, yeah, I'm great art, May. All of the faces I draw are lopsided, and you know, my wife's good at drawing. But she just doesn't take time to do it anymore because it's too long, you know. She does find it relaxing.
So, well, yeah.
New Light did make me do this.
What does she use like when she draws?
She used to just use pencil, and she used to use like colouring pencil, you know, like do a proper thing. Very simple, you know, like not the way she drew was simple, but you know, like simple with the colouring and stuff. She's really good. But I think with the arthritis and that now and stuff, it's harder, isn't it?
Charcoal's the
You
thing
know.
that I'd go with most of the time, like charcoal pencils. I found like a lot easier because you could work with the right. The shading was good.
Well, funny enough, when I was in school, I used to use triangle pencils.
Oh, the old. Okay.
Yeah, you know where they were like the three-sided.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're pretty good.
But yeah,
Shall I show my graphic novels quickly?
Yeah, before you head out.
All right. So the first one I picked up, was Joker and Harley, the Criminal Sanity. This is some fantastic artwork in it. Look at that. It's not bad. Look at that. See that?
Black Label, right? Who's the artist on that one?
Well, it says. Let's have a look. The artists are Miko Suan, Jason Badoa, and Mike Mayhew.
Okay, perfect.
So I got that one. I'm really enjoying reading this at the minute. Then, as Phil probably saw earlier, Batman 3 Jokers.
Which is a fun story. I'm just like kind of the ones that I thank you so much, Indy, by the way.
Thanks, Indy.
It's creepy Aaron time. I do look psychotic. I really do on that one.
Here's a story for you. That mask is made out of tiramisu. And the last one to show